Jesus didn't say if you fast, but when you fast. How should you fast as a Jesus follower? Well, Jesus said, fast like it's no big deal. Good morning and welcome to 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you live life to the fullest, the Jesus way.
Good morning. This is Jesus Gonzalez. I'm back to do the Jesus Said with you again. Today's Jesus Said is fast like it's no big deal. We'll be reading from Matthew chapter 6, verse 16 through 18. So starting in verse 16, Jesus says, "And when you fast, don't make it obvious as the hypocrites do. For they try to look miserable and disheveled so people will admire them for their fasting. I tell you the truth, that is the only reward they will ever get." So I read that, just stopping there, it's like, man, he's saying don't be like those people who do it to be admired, who want people to notice them, who are doing it for the attention of the crowd. He's like, that's the only reward those people are ever going to get. He's basically saying like their fast is discounted because of what they're doing. Like it's been, it's, oh, you got your reward. That's it. Like it's done. It doesn't matter anymore. But he's saying instead, when you fast, comb your hair and wash your face. Don't make it apparent that you're fasting. Don't make yourself look so, in agony, I guess you could say, that people are like, oh man, he must be fasting. No, he's saying, when you fast, comb your hair and wash your face. Then no one will notice that you are fasting, except your Father, who knows what you do in private. And your Father, who sees everything, will reward you. I think that's so cool to think that, God wants us to fast because it's an important part of our relationship with him. But he's saying, make it just between you and him. Like, it's not about anybody else. If no one else notices you're fasting, he's saying that's a good thing. Because then just you and God know, and he knows what you're doing in private, and he's going to be the one seeing it, and he'll reward you. So to give context to this, Jesus is giving examples of how to pray in these verses before. He's saying, he's not saying if you fast, but he says when you fast. He's saying fast like it's no big deal. Don't fast like it's something to be worried about or like it's going to be some huge strain on you. He's saying fast like it's not a big deal. So in Matthew 9, verse 14 through 15, so this is just another time when he was talking about fasting. It says, "One day the disciples of John the Baptist came to Jesus, and they asked him, 'Why don't your disciples fast like we do, and the Pharisees do?' And Jesus replied, 'Do wedding guests mourn while celebrating with the groom? Of course not. But someday the groom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast.' So even John the Baptist, his disciples, John the Baptist was a great man. He was the one who kind of prepared the way for Jesus. But even his disciples didn't really get what Jesus' disciples were experiencing. They're like, we fast, the Pharisees fast, like everybody fasts. Like, it's just a normal part of our Christian walk, I guess you could say. And Jesus is saying, but they don't need to because I'm here with them right now. Jesus compared himself to the wedding groom, which he is. We're all the bride of Christ. And he's saying they're with the groom right now. Why would they fast? Why would they do that? He's like, but when I'm gone, then they will fast. And I think he completely trusted the thought that when he was to go and be that sacrifice for all of humanity and eventually ascend to heaven, that he knew that his disciples would fast because he wouldn't be with them any longer. So in this time, again, fasting was just a standard part of the culture. It was at least 2 days a week. Fasting was part of God's calendar in the Old Testament. It was just something people did. It wasn't like unheard of. But again, he was saying that some people made it about themselves. They made it about all the attention they could get. How woe is me could they be? But he's saying it's not supposed to be about that. But everyone fasted. Jesus fasted for 40 days before beginning his ministry. Paul fasted right after his conversion. There's fasting all throughout Acts. So when do we fast? We fast when it's on the calendar. We fast when we make a plan for it. Like, you're not going to fast by accident. If you skip a couple meals, that's not fasting. You just skipped a couple meals by accident. He's saying, like, fasting should be a part of what we do, but it shouldn't be something that, again, we're making about ourselves or we're making for attention. It's something that we should set aside, like, God, this is the time I'm going to give you to focus on you, to focus on speaking to you, learning from you, listening to you. It's not for show. It's not to earn or deserve anything, but it's in obedience. And, start small. If you can't fast for a whole day, set some time aside. Like, hey, God, I'm going to fast for these next 4 hours. Or, hey, God, I'm going to fast this meal. Or, hey, God, I'm going to fast from this time to this time. And let yourself know that you're making that commitment. But again, don't make it about anybody else. Don't tell everybody what you're doing. Just make it between you and Jesus. Because, again, God who sees in secret, he's going to know. And then you're going to get that reward. You're going to start to see that relationship with him grow because you're doing something out of obedience. Not for show, not for attention, not for anything else, but just for Jesus. So again, the Jesus said was fast like it's no big deal. How can you put this into action today? I guess I can almost break that into two questions. Are you fasting? And when you fast, is it more about you or is it more about Jesus? So thank you so much for listening to the Jesus Said. I hope this has had an impact on you. I thank you so much for joining us. And as we always say at Today Church, remember, follow Jesus today and every day and love first.